Welcome back to another informative and exciting episode of podcast where we cover everything cannabis and hemp. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do so, as this will help us sustain our channel. And remember to cannabis responsibly at all times. Welcome to another episode of podcast. I am your host Mo, and I'm sitting here with the founder and CEO of Biomuti. He is also the chairperson of
Cannabis Trade Association.
And he is also the founder of a foundation called
Heal Thyself Foundation.
Man that does so many things. He wears many hats, many hats. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you, Mo. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And me, basically. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what transpired at the Cannabis Master Plan discussions. But they call it what, Phakisa?
Yes, it was. It's called the Phakisa Cannabis Phakisa Lab.
Yes.
So it's more like an instrument that the presidency uses to fast track certain legislation or certain changes that they want to have fast.
Yes.
You know, without cutting all the red tapes. And we know there's a whole lot of red tapes in cannabis for days.
Yes.
You know, but in a nutshell, it was amazing. So there were about 100 participants.
Okay, which was labor.
It was labor. So Kusatu were there. Contralesa was there, which represents obviously the Inkosi all around the country. There was then the Traditional Healers Association were there. We had all the government departments.
All of them.
The main ones that matter.
Okay.
So the Department of Health was there. The Department of Trade and Industry was there. It was obviously run by DELRAT, which is the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform, and so forth and so on.
Yes.
Department of Justice was there. Very
What?
much so. Absolutely.
You lie.
Yes. And SAPS was there.
Interesting.
Absolutely. So the presidency just pretty much put 100 people in one room.
Yes.
Literally in one room. We're making this up. And we were staying there, and pretty much morning till evening.
Just discussing. No one was fighting.
Oh,
it
wow.
was peaceful.
No, you wish. So there was a lot of, so all the activists were there.
Mama Myrtle.
Myrtle was there, as well as Gareth Prince was there. The Rastafari community were there.
Which is the
Marijuana Board.
Yes.
They were there. We had Grow One Africa guys that were representing like your
Mr.
social, correct? They were there, social clubs. And then we had indigenous growers were there. Amampondo, they were represented by the chiefs and so forth and so on.
Yes.
And industry and business.
Interesting.
So
it was everybody that was important obviously was there.
Pretty much. So
the
idea was to try and have everybody who's affected by cannabis and all in one room.
Yeah.
And then hopefully come out there with a piece of legislation that is all inclusive and all.
Now tell me, did you guys achieve that? Because there's been so many talks around this whole cannabis thing, and it's just always been thrown there. We never see any results. So please tell me, something came out of having everybody in one room.
Definitely. Look, one of the things, for the fact that SEPS and the Department of Justice was there, was to make sure that all arrests must stop with immediate effect. I mean,
Are you serious?
That was the goal.
Say
Right?
that again.
All arrests must stop with immediate effect. Now, what I mean by immediate effect, there's always processes that must take place.
Of course.
So brigadiers were there. I mean, it was a serious,
discussion.
Yeah. So we expect by end of July that there would be a communique or a circular that comes out to all different heads of SAPs and different branches, literally saying there's a moratorium on arrests.
So now, what does that mean exactly?
So that means that, I mean, look at it this way. You have the constitutional code that came out in 2018 that says that I, as a private person, can be able to grow cannabis in my own private space and smoke in my private space.
Yeah.
So there was no discussion around how much kilograms or gram I should have.
Yeah.
That is something that the parliament now must do, which is a process that's in place.
Okay.
But theoretically speaking, it means that there shouldn't have been any arrest in the first place.
In the first
Because
place.
you have in a sense, a decriminalized plant.
Yes.
So why were they taking place? It's beyond anyone's comprehension.
I mean, so does this mean everybody that was arrested is now going to be released?
Correct. So there will be the idea is that there's also going to be expungement of these criminal records.
Okay.
Talking about release, and the other thing that they were anticipating was talk about how to compensate those that were arrested under these circumstances.
You lie.
Yes.
So if you were gone for like years, government is going to compensate you?
Well, still
Okay.
under discussion because
Okay.
it's a very long shot.
Yeah.
In a sense, the
Yeah.
government has no money, as we know.
Okay.
So it would be very difficult to try
Well.
and push something like that. But it would have been lovely, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
But as CTAA, we were there to put our voice from a business point of view to say
Yeah.
how do we benefit cannabis, and that is the benefit that is trickled down to the people that have been growing cannabis for eons.
Many years.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about mothers that have brought up their children with proceeds from cannabis. And as we speak, South Africa is one of the third largest producers of illicit cannabis in the world.
Imagine.
And
It's still illegal.
it's still illegal,
Even though it's legal.
which makes no sense. Right? so it's a bit of a conundrum, but a very simple conundrum that if you're looking at what the Constitutional Court has said, which is the law that supersedes any other law that you've signed anywhere else in the world. So if you have a pact that you've signed as a country, say you've signed a pact with the World Health Organization, you signed a pact with the United Nations, our constitution supersedes those pacts that you signed. So we cannot be told about pact that were signed that has nothing to do with our own, country. So we feel that as South Africa, being the country that sponsored this law in the first place, almost 100 years ago,
Imagine.
we become the country that come back and say, we were wrong, we are going to legalize this plant. We think if we could do this year, it would be an amazing thing. So what we've agreed is to remove the cannabis out of the Drugs and Drug Trafficking Act.
Okay, and how long is that going to take?
Before another year, it must be done.
Okay.
And then
Do
second,
you think it will be done?
it must be done.
Okay.
It's not think or if.
It
was
must.
the condition that it must be done.
Okay, all right.
And everybody in that room, 100
Agreed.
people agreed on that.
Okay,
particular
okay.
thing. And then the second part is that we're not going to talk about the THC. So the difference between hemp and we're not going to talk about that.
Cannabis
because
is cannabis.
Remember, hemp is a legislative term.
Yes.
Someone decided
Yes.
that the cannabis that has lower THC will be called hemp.
Hemp.
So it's a legislative term. In other jurisdictions around the world,
It's cannabis.
no, the hemp that they've classified
Yeah.
in Switzerland, for example, is 1%.
Yes.
In Jamaica, is 5%.
In South Africa, it's 2.
In South Africa, is 0.0.2 something crazy
But
of
it's
that
2
nature.
something. Yeah.
But for the fact that we've got this amazing sun, I mean, it's winter. I'm supposed to be wearing a jacket,
and here
but
you
we're
are.
sitting right outside. So that tells you that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a great sun.
Yeah.
So we can plant our product, our cannabis, whether under greenhouse or, of course, it's frost at night, but greenhouse, for sure, you make sure that you get the best. So from that point of view, we can produce the best quality of cannabis outdoor that we can sell to the rest of
And
the
we
world.
have been.
And we are still doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not, if
Yeah.
we say we are a third in the world, it really truly means that we are fueling an entire illicit market with
Precisely.
outdoor grown cannabis. So why is it that we're still talking about the legalization aspect? When the whole world, everywhere, the horse is bolted.
There's so much money in so many other countries, and a lot of people keep saying to me that it's a $1 trillion industry. I'm like, wait, not in South Africa. We are still catching on because our government doesn't even know themselves. They're still trying to understand and unpack. But I'm glad to see that they have invited cannabis people to speak on this and to see how they can actually find a common ground What is it that they are missing? I assume, right? Because I was not in those discussions. What is it that they are missing so that they can implement that, so that it can work perfectly for everybody?
No, sure. I mean, fireworks on day one.
I can imagine. Anger. Why didn't you guys just take a spliff, everybody in that room?
I think it would have been a fantastic thing.
Nah.
But
Smoke
fireworks
machines.
on day one were issues about that the right decision makers from SEPs were not there. So they were literally staging a walkout. So we were literally saying we're going to walk out of this thing. It's a waste of our time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And quickly that changed. So day two, we start having the right kind of people in the room. So that because we wanted people that can take a decision. If they cannot take a decision, have someone that can take a decision for them at that particular time. Because we were at the impression that everybody who's there is a decision maker. And true to the form, it was the case. And Deloitte was there to collate everything else, to put it into a proper format. And Cullinan and Associates, the lawyers, were there to put together this entire plan. The plan is in two parts. One part is that we will implement the things that can be implemented, and those that cannot be implemented will then create what we call a sandbox. A little sandbox, national sandbox. Now, the reason we mention the sandbox is that within the laws of the countries concerned, if the cannabis is still sitting in the Drugs and Drug Trafficking Act, you can't do anything with it.
Of course.
In actual fact, what it means is that even the licenses that SAPRA has issued are illegal licenses.
What? And so many people have spent so much money on those licenses.
Yes, but it's illegal in a sense that the Drugs and Drug Trafficking Act still says that
cannabis
this plant
is a drug.
From seeds all the way to
everything.
So
you also mentioned the food side of it.
Right, the food side is even more scarier than everything else, right? When the Department of Health was presenting the food side of the Department of Health, we were all shocked in terms of they have issues around using hemp seeds as a protein. They have issues around, they're saying that
and this is the Department of Health.
This is the Department of Health. And they're using a codex that's come from the World Health Organization, which in my view, and everybody's view, we should agree that we should have our own set of research data that we can pull from. And the sandbox will allow us to do that. So if you come around and say, you cannot have CBD in a gummy, or THC in a gummy, my question to you would be, why not? Logically speaking, this to me, it's food. I'm used to it as food because I use it for everything else. So to them, it's not. So we need to
What is it to them?
It's a drug. And more so, it's something that's going to cause you schizophrenia. I don't know. I mean, the level of fear mongering that was there was just another thing.
So didn't they do research?
This is the research they're telling us.
That they conducted, and then
No. This is data that they got from international wherever. So all we said was, let's create a sandbox where we can test some of these issues that you have, because it's important that we come up as a country with our own standards.
Yes.
We don't have to go and look at other people's standards, or
100%.
even be in a situation where we create even new ways of doing things. South Africa has a unique history compared to everybody else who are busy now talking about legalizing cannabis, which is we've been growing this thing for over hundreds and hundreds of years. We have a legacy here that's beyond anything. So we are experts in this, in a sense.
Yeah.
So it would be a remarkable feat if we can come show the world how it can properly be done, where it's equitable, where it's inclusive, and knowing very well that those people that have been farming cannabis and bringing their children through education and school in Emapondo and various other different places, Lusikisiki, Natal, and various other different parts, Limpopo, and Northwest, that they are also part and parcel, so that we don't have just this pay to play.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we lobbied was to remove this Section 21 because it's a waste of time. And to pretend, because it's all about pretext. They're pretending that really a doctor is prescribing this use for medical use.
100%.
The truth of the matter is that if I want medical grade cannabis, I can just call my doctor and he hook me up.
Yeah.
And there should be anything frowned upon.
Yeah.
Because all we need to do is report through INCB, which is what it will happen.
Okay.
Because there's that traceability, everybody has a license, so we know how much cannabis is being produced in the country and where it's been used and who's using it.
Yeah.
That information will be there.
Yeah, yeah.
But we cannot just pretend and say, "Aye, we cannot use any other mechanism, it's going to be abusive." First of all, I'm a grown-ass man. So I can choose what I want to do with my body. If I want to go and smoke weed, I smoke weed. I don't need to be told by someone that I cannot. So similarly, if I want to call a doctor and organize me a gram or 10, then I can call a doctor and he does that.
Yeah.
And the doctor makes money.
And that's what people are doing then.
The grower makes money. There's, the regulator makes money from that whole
Process.
licensing that everybody has.
Yeah.
And more so, the government collects taxes.
You understand?
Colorado, for example, if you compare with South Africa, it's a tiny little country or state. They collected about R1 trillion equivalent.
Imagine that.
Right? And we can collect even more.
More.
Just by opening up these potential dispensaries. Now, coming back to recreational cannabis or adult use, as we like to call it. In our view, it should be within the sandbox because there's no legislation currently that we can use to be able to test the capability of us having hubs in areas where our indigenous growers are based. They then take their product to the hubs, they are graded, and once they're graded, they're into the system. Now, if I'm part of the sandbox and I run a dispensary, I then apply to go buy from the hub. So if they're buying, say, for argument's sake, from the grower at 10 Rand a gram, I buy from the hub, say, at 20 Rand a gram.
Yeah.
It then becomes out of the dispensary at 25 Rand a gram, which is pretty much a going rate for outdoor.
Yeah.
At a retail level.
Yeah.
Right? So
at the black market retail
right.
level. Yeah.
So the idea is that you need to make sure that you stay within parity of those pricing.
Yeah.
So that you don't find that legal comes in and then take over. Right? Because immediately when you start, don't give people what they are worth. They will, why would I sell to you for cheap if I can sell it to someone else for more money? That's pretty
Which
much,
is what's happening already.
Yes,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And what we made aware to the regulator and the Department of Health is that the legal licenses that you've issued to those guys that are having legal grow facilities, their cannabis end up on the street, thereby affecting incomes of those people.
Because they don't have offtakes.
Or the offtakes are not taking the product that they're growing, or they grow majat, or they grow low quality that the offtaker does not want. So, but you have cost is a cost is a cost. Right?
Yeah.
So by removing Section 21, you are allowing this product to go legally in an open market using through doctors and various other different mechanisms.
So when are they removing the Section 21? Hey, because it's a problem, it's a headache, the Section 21.
It is. Look, we're hoping that we'll have movement. But everything is it's either 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months in terms of actions that needs to be taking place.
So this is not going to be like all the other times whereby we've been told this is what's going to happen and nothing happens. Like, because now everybody was in one. Is this the first time where everybody was in one room where discussions were taking place? And now, do we have confidence that something is going to happen? Not that it's just going to be all talk. Something is going to transpire.
Well,
the green gold won't be stolen.
One thing that you can be rest assured, now you are sitting with 100 people, almost 2/3 of those people are activists, right?
Yeah.
So you can be rest assured that they're going to hold the government and the presidency to account.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And those deliverables and dates, we're going to make sure that that happens.
Yeah.
Because it's in our best interest that this actually succeed.
Yeah.
And by calling everybody in that room, we wanted to create a piece of legislation or law that we all agree on, so that at the end of the day, when it goes and get passed, nobody's gonna go to court and start, fighting the details of it. So it was well detailed. We even detailed a whole lot of things, like what are we doing with industrial, the removal of the term hemp. It's out. So we're not talking hemp, we're talking cannabis.
Because it is cannabis.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it was always confusing. People would say it's an industrial side of it.
We're going to talk industrial cannabis, and we're going to talk cannabis.
Yeah.
So it's either industrial cannabis or cannabis, right?
Yeah.
Industrial cannabis will be those long stalks, and we've said our landrace strains can be used as that, because if their THC is around 5%, then we're good to go. So we have to decide, like, okay, our industrial cannabis is 5%. That's finished, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to get into too many discussions. But I can tell you now, come February, come September, people are putting plants on the ground.
So now let's talk about the cost and the allocation for the licensing for agriculture. Is that changing? Because it's now how many, 50 hectares?
That's going to change, yeah.
That's going to change to how many hectares? Because you can't really do anything with 50 hectares.
I don't think there will be limitations on the size.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Because, again, we've ascertained the fact that it's industrial.
Yeah.
So if you are sitting at industrial, then why are you going to be now having a situation where we need to worry about this, the size of, I mean, this is industrial. If somebody is making bricks, I need all the...
You need all the, yeah,
plastic.
You need a lot.
We're working on a project for plastic, by the way. And, we're using cellulose of the cannabis plant. So we're going to need a lot of this stuff. So it is good news that, anybody can plant how much they can plant.
And then is the cost price going to change for the, what do you call it, the medicinal side? Because now we can now grow the outdoor, right? Outdoor is also going to be regarded as something that now can be used. Not only the tunnel, the greenhouse and the indoor. So is that going to change? Because right now it's at millions.
That's going to stay the same. Because remember, this is medical cannabis.
Yeah.
So that whole box will stay in that box.
Yeah.
But what we've done is that we've included a recreational or responsible adult use in there, which will then be fed by the cannabis grown outdoor from Emampondo, Lusikisiki, and various other places. Even those that will grow indoor, but they must apply in order to do so. But it won't be medicinal. It will be an indoor,
I get what you're saying.
Right.
So people won't be arrested anymore.
No, but there's got to be some level of registration.
Yeah.
You can't just go farm.
So how do they register?
There's mechanism that they're coming up with, but we've suggested that whatever the mechanisms have to be working within what people can be able to get. Because some of these places are remote, right? So we need to figure out how do we go about doing so and making sure that we have some sort of registration to say who you are. And of course, you can now go open up a bank account, because now cannabis is out of the Drugs and Drug Trafficking Act, which is...
I cannot wait.
You know what I mean? Everybody here is a drug dealer here with us.
Araskai exposure. Okay then, that is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I really hope that it won't just be, like I said, no talk. Because right now I think a lot of people have lost a lot of confidence in government because killing, right? 2018, we are about 2023 right now.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think, like I said, for us, it's a very, very lower hanging fruit. And I think if we can implement it in a correct way, we'll create a massive difference.
I know.
Massive.
I know.
People's lives like we never seen before.
Okay. So, yeah. So, can people get the article? We'll post it on the website. You go to www.podcastsa.co.za, where everything transpired. Yeah. Where everything transpired. Now, enough about that. Let's talk about the foundation that you have, because I know you love assisting communities and stuff like that. So please just tap into what your foundation does. Heal Thyself.
Heal Thyself. And the name really was about that. I think the foundation was created at a time when, and I suppose cannabis is still pretty much frowned upon, but at a time when you couldn't even access cannabis, in a manner that for healing or anything like that. So the term Heal Thyself, or the name Heal Thyself, came from that. Heal yourself, basically. Heal thyself. Take all that.
Yeah.
But it expanded from just cannabis to many other different things. You can heal yourself by learning a new skill. You can heal yourself by learning a new way of doing things. You can heal, there's many ways. You can heal yourself by contributing, to society. So we're doing a lot of those society contribution kind of exercises.
Yeah.
We're still a small, tiny company, of course. We don't do as much big as we want, but obviously we allow people to come and donate. For some projects, we have almost 50 people have died because of cholera this year, which is a big problem. The government they don't know what to do. It's in our water system, unfortunately. So we are working on projects to help with things like that, where we can, provide a tablet that you put inside water, and that will then kill all the bacteria inside. At the same time, teaching the guys sustainable way of, growing vegetables for themselves, for their homes and stuff like that. Sustainable development of some sort. And I think it's important that we do things like that. There's many, many, many different stuff. But I think what's closer now is the problem is cholera right now, which is devastating the country. And people aren't really sure. So with these projects like the cholera one I'm talking about and sustainable farming, is that, you're obviously gonna try to reach as many people as possible. Our money can take us 10 steps.
So you basically funders. Hey, everyone is just founding everything. Funders, you need funders.
Yeah, so we need funders in order to grow and make this foundation thing much more bigger, and we can do very impactful stuff. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that are out there that we can
So please, Tebogo, go to the Heal Thyself website and be able to donate there.
HealThyself.org.za.
Please donate. This man has great ideas. He wants to do great things for the community. Let's assist him in doing that. Now let's talk about Mucho.
Yes.
I see something here for dogs.
Yeah, we've been doing that actually for quite some time. So we at Mucho, we've been doing actually animals from inception.
Yes.
And our strategy was that we were very much aware that cannabis is actually amazing for pets.
Yes.
At the same time, however, because of nobody put a thought towards the owners of the pets, of which they always regard their pets as their kids.
Yes.
That there shouldn't be a generic one-size-fits-all thing, which is rubbish if you think about it. So we came up with 3 levels. That's based on the weight of the pet.
Okay.
So in that way, the pet owner does not have anxiety on whether they're giving their pet too much or too little.
Okay.
So we've got level 1, the green one, and we made color coding so it's easy, right?
Yeah.
So level 1, green one, is for pets, whether it's a cat or a dog, that is between the age of weight between 0 and 11 kg.
Okay, and what does it do? What does this product do?
So it helps with things like phobia.
Okay.
It helps with things like general, when the pets get older, they develop arthritis like we all do because of the diet.
Yeah.
So it also helps with that.
Okay.
It also helps with allergies and stuff. Big problem with allergies. So it helps with allergies. And it calms the pets down, right? Whether it's a cat, whether it's a dog, it gets to calm down very, very well.
Okay.
Even whenever there's lightning or thunderstorm, we give them the CBD, they calm down. Fireworks, December, Diwali, right? So with this, you just give them in their food or in their treats. Bob's your uncle.
Okay.
So the green one is for dogs, cats, 0 to 11 kg.
Okay.
Orange one, level 2, Animax, is 11 to 22 kilos.
Okay.
Right? The red one is the last number. It's all big pets, even horses, big dogs, right? Any pets above 22 kgs, this is the go-to for that.
Awesome.
So as I said, color coding, easy to remember, easy to recognize. Just grab one, and the beauty about it is that if you have a bigger dog and a small dog, you can have 2 of these, so that you know exactly how much you're giving your pet.
Your pet. Okay. And I'm saying your product is the first one that I'm seeing that actually caters for most animals, because it's normally just dogs and cats.
Correct.
But I see yours is horses.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Mucho, guys. All right. And then you don't want to talk on any other product here, because he's got a lot, as you guys can see here.
We've been busy.
He's very busy.
And there's more to come, because one of the things about what we do at Mucho, we are a botanical wellness company. So we're not a cannabis company per se. We love cannabis. We use it everywhere. as well as our indigenous knowledge systems, products that we know, which is Artemisia afra, Devil's Claw, which is Ngaparile. You get it in Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. And Skeletium, your Pelargonium zooides for anything with chest. So every product here represents a particular thing. Like, for example, a Prostivax, which is a prostate support for men.
Yes.
Now, if you want to treat your enlarged prostate, it's for an enlarged prostate, not cancerous prostate.
Yeah.
But we always say that if you feel that there's issues with your prostate, go check with your doctor. But there's no need for you to do surgery.
Yeah.
It's a natural process. Your prostate just starts growing because it's a natural process. As a man, it grows, right?
Yeah.
And as it grows, it becomes very, very difficult for us to urinate freely. So the restriction of flow becomes
I remember
more
the last time you talking about skipping there. Yeah.
Exactly. So this takes you back to skipping.
Yeah, it takes you back to skipping. Yes.
Exactly. And then we have like joint support. This is where Singaparile is here, Devil's Claw.
Okay.
So we've crisscrossed the country looking for the right kind of indigenous plant medicine that we've been using for years.
Yeah.
In actual fact, all these things that we are using
are indigenous.
Yeah. Either they're indigenous to India or they're indigenous to South Africa, but it's all based on making sure that we have basic, proper products that are plant-based that are not going to give you side effects.
Awesome. So if there's anybody that actually wants to go the herbal route, Biomuti is the product for you. Trust you me.
In actual fact, people are going to the herbal route.
I see that. Yes.
Because we're not trusting anymore
the Western medication.
Absolutely. I mean, I know you don't trust your doctor when it comes to medicine. You want to hear what he has to say.
But you rather go this
But you rather go to the natural route when you're treating what he has identified.
Yeah. So tell people where they can get hold of these products. Like how can someone come to you either for consultation, I assume, right? Will you be able to tell them what product would be best for whatever disease or illness that they have?
So we have a very, very vibrant online store.
Okay.
It's called biomuti.co.za.
Okay.
Check it out. You can go buy your products there. There's a phone number that you can call if there's any questions regarding the product. We'll also have an AI there too that can assist you.
Hey.
So next time when you want to be asking questions, we'll have an AI talking to you because we are training the AI pretty much to be me.
Okay then.
So when it comes to knowledge about everything, it's going to be a go-to guy.
Yeah.
We got to that. So that's a very exciting time for us. We're also available on Clicks.
Okay.
Online. But I want to give you a challenge. I want you to go to the Clicks near your home and ask for Biomuti product. So that Clicks can put us in the stores. I'm giving you this task, guys.
In your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we're in Clicks online. We're also at Faithful to Nature. It's also an online health store.
Okay.
We're also at Take A Lot as well.
Okay.
And participating stores and health stores, we're also there.
Alrighty then. Wellness stores and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tebogo. It's always a pleasure having a discussion with you.
It's a pleasure.
You know.
Thank you
for all the informative information that you have brought forth, especially in regards to the cannabis discussion master plan. I know a lot of people learned a lot, and a lot of people are just going to be looking to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, remember. Go to Biomuti, heal thyself. And if you need any further information, contact us on the podcast website and we'll connect you with Tebogo. And on that note, please remember to cannabis responsibly at all times. Alrighty then. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and share buttons below. We would also appreciate your comments. And remember to cannabis responsibly at all times.